Welcome everyone to Hot Stove Cool Music 2021. My name is Kay Hanley. I am a co-founding musician of Hot Stove Cool Music. And tonight, as always, we are raising money for the foundation to be named later. So this is our second virtual event. Obviously, we're not quite ready to go back to being in crowded clubs, jumping around on stage yet, but hopefully 2022, we'll see at the Paradise, hopefully. Last year, we realized pretty quickly into the pandemic that the families and nonprofits that the foundation to be named later serves were facing incredible challenges. Jobs were lost, school was canceled. Some of the Gammon scholars found themselves stranded at their schools, and there was just myriad challenges that our partners were facing. So we quickly sprung into action and created our first virtual event last year, which I believe raised $250,000 or something like that, and saved people's lives. I'm not exaggerating. So this year, the challenges are still the same. We need your support. We're grateful for your support. We're so happy that you're here. And I am thrilled to be on the same Zoom screen as Paul and Theo Epstein, who are the co-founders of Foundation to be Named Later. And I adore them. And I'm so happy to see you guys. What's up?
Hello, Theo in Chicago.
Hello, Paul in Boston.
So what was the process in those early days, like when Theo became the GM of the Red Sox, and Paul, you were teaching at Brookline High School, I believe. What was the spark?
Well, as soon as I got the job and called Paul and told him I was going to be the GM of the Red Sox, his initial reaction was, "Oh, that's great. We can start a foundation and raise so much money and help everybody. Like, what are you doing tomorrow night? Let's plan this all out." And I had to tell him that I wanted to keep my job as GM of the Red Sox, so I had to focus on doing a good job. And then that next year we won the World Series. So Paul said, "Well, now you have no excuse. So let's get going. And what are you doing tomorrow night?" And so we got together and mapped out the foundation. And Paul, being a social worker, and I think one of the best to ever do it, in my opinion, was so familiar with how much need there was in the community, and all the great nonprofits that were doing the most important work in our society. So he was able to map out a way that we could use the passion of baseball fans and music fans to raise some money. So Paul, you can take it from there.
Yeah. It's Kay, to build on Theo's picture that he's painting of how the foundation came into existence. He, step one was winning a World Series. Theo took care of that, and it, raised his already pretty high stature and high esteem that he was held in all throughout New England. Took care of that in 2004, and we're sitting around in Fort Myers, Florida, sort of in the afterglow of that World Series championship in 2004. And we were brainstorming, the foundation, and we had already figured out the basic model, but we needed one important thing, which was a name. And we were kicking around ideas and dozens of possible names, and we just didn't like any of them. And it was getting late in the day. We were getting frustrated, and we just kind of both said, "Oh, screw it. We'll just name it Later." And thus the foundation to be named Later, with the embedded baseball pun for those in the know. But for those not in the know, I'll explain that. When Theo used to make trades in his role as GM, sometimes he would trade player A for player B and a player to be named later. So the foundation has a very simple mission. It's simply to raise funds and disperse them to nonprofits in Boston and Chicago that serve underserved youth. And of course, we also run an incredible college scholarship program called the Peter Gammon Scholars that has given access to higher education for a lot of kids in both cities.
Well, I guess it's time to kick off the show, mainly thanking our amazing sponsors and announcing the lineup.
I'll start with some sponsors, and thank you very much for everything you do to make Hot Stove happen and support the foundation. Novaya, Syncoro, Google, DraftKings, Giving Grosbex, and Fazzolari, PNC Bank, Sloan, Chicago Cubs, and Boston Red Sox. I've heard of them.
We'd also like to give a big thank you to Baseball Fantasy Camp for Kids, Mintz, Greenberg Traurig, Ace Ticket, Carrio Farm, the Boston Foundation, Elevate, Athletes on the Move, Q Division, Rubin and Rudman, and of course our host committee.
And then a shout out to our beneficiaries, and a reminder that proceeds from tonight's show allow us to select our 200th foundation to be named later, Peter Gammons College Scholar, which is incredible, which comes with a mentor, a tuition scholarship, and a plan for success. And we're also, of course, supporting important, innovative frontline nonprofit partners such as the Base in Boston and in Chicago, the Chicago Children's Choir, Common Ground Foundation, the Beacon Academy, West End House Boys and Girls Club, former West End House member, Roxbury Youth Works, ZooMix, College Possible, Youth Guidance, and of course, SONA, the Songwriters of North America Songwriter Fund.
Rubin and Rudman, Athletes on the Move, TraceLink, Vienna Beef, Westfield Capital, Dr. Clayton Holloway, Acorn Investment Partners, the Atwood family, the Parsley family, and our host committee. Thank you.
And here's where our superhero comes in, the CEO of the foundation to be named later, our only employee, the wonderful Elise Najimy.
Thank you to Paul and Theo Epstein for stopping by at the top of the show. Just always so great to talk to you. But let's get to it. Let's start the show. Our first two performers are actually foundation to be named later Peter Gammons College Scholars. They attend Berklee College of Music. They're extraordinary musicians, and they are going to start things off with a beautiful song. Please welcome Angelina Botticelli and Carolina Schott.
Hi, I'm Carolina Schott, and I'm a part of the Weston House Boys and Girls Club. I am a proud foundation to be named later Peter Gammons Scholar. I attend Berklee College of Music, and I'm class 2023. I'm so excited to be here with you guys, and I'm so proud to be a part of this foundation. I want to thank everyone and thank the opportunities and community that you guys have given me so far.
Hi, my name is Angelina Botticelli. I'm a part of ZooMix and a proud foundation to be named Light of Dawn Scholar at Berklee College of Music, class of 2023. Not only has this scholarship provided me with the finances I need to pursue my education, but it has opened my eyes and my door to an incredible community of people who have just been so supportive and encouraging. We're here to perform Here Comes the Sun by The Beatles as a hopeful and happy way to start Hot Stove Cool Music.
Hope everyone enjoys it.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since they've been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 it's alright.
He is a Grammy Award-winning artist who has been using his music to heal our nation.
He has a big heart and an amazing talent, and we're so grateful that he lends them both to the foundation to be named later, Hot Stove Cool Music. Please welcome the legendary Yo-Yo Ma!
Hi, I'm Yo-Yo Ma, and I'm here to salute the foundation to be named later for all of its work that it does to support people going through school. And it lends a helping hand, not only in resources, but what I admire is that every child that goes through the school system gets a mentor, because we always need a helping hand. And to succeed, we need to make sure that the world that a young person goes into is actually going to be their world. And you need a guide. I always need a guide to take me to a place that I don't know. And here's some dance music to celebrate that kind of collaboration that is needed for a young person to get through school, to get to jobs, and to be a contributing member of society. So congratulations to the foundation for the work that you do, and most of all, congratulations to all the young people that are going through what they need to in order to thrive.
Yo-Yo Ma.
Wow.
Hot Hot Stove Cool Music getting classy with the big guests.
Yes,
Wow,
ma'am.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. Yo-Yo, Mr. Ma?
Mr. Ma, I think.
Yeah, okay, let's go with
Yeah.
that. So I'm sitting here today with my dear friend and Hot Stove Cool Music, one of the musical co-founders, Mr. Tom Polchi.
Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Kay. How are you?
I'm good.
It's good to see you in the real life.
I know this is our first post-vax hang.
This is true. I actually got to hug her, which is like one of the first non-family hugs I've gotten to do. Thankfully.
Isn't it so funny, like the things that we'll never take for granted
It's true.
again?
It's true.
Like live concerts, for example.
Yes.
This is our second virtual Hot Stove event.
Hopefully our last.
Hopefully our last. I think it really looks like we'll be able to start playing together again in 2022, which brings me to the one sort of like color commentary I would like to make,
What's
which
that?
is my favorite thing always about Hot Stove Cool Music every year, whether it's Boston or Chicago, is watching you, Tom, get behind the kit at the beginning of the night, and then you just play your ass off for 4 hours. For how many songs do you think you play?
Feels like, I don't know, 200 or 300 songs, something like that.
I mean,
it's a lot of
that's-
songs.
It's absolutely insane, and you back up everyone. And so my question is, do you really learn all those songs, or do you just wing it?
What kind of question is that? Of course I learn all of the songs.
That's crazy.
It's not crazy. I care, and this is an important event, and I want to make sure musical moments happen, as I'm sure you do and the rest of us do. But I do have to clarify. I do play a lot of drums through that night, but there's also other fantastic drummers that play. I want to give a shout out to Gerald
Oh,
from
yeah.
Chicago that plays some mean drums.
Gerald's amazing.
Gerald also brings it.
Well, I'm so glad that we get to be here together to talk a little bit about Hot Stove Cool Music, which
Yeah.
is such part of our hearts, both of us, I think.
many years,
Part
yeah.
of our hearts, really.
Part of our hats.
And this year, as we've talked about many times over the course of the night, the need of the communities that we serve, the nonprofits, the kids, and the families,
Yes.
have been brutalized by the pandemic, more so than a lot of us. And so whatever you can give tonight, we know you paid for your ticket, but if you are able to dig a little deeper, give a few extra bucks, there's probably a QR code right there. There's probably also a donate button. And another way to give is the
Silent auction. So there's probably a button here or somewhere here, and feel free to check it out because there's going to be a lot of items, both musical items and sports items, that you can bid on and win. And just know that all the money that we make from these auctions and from you donating and contributing really help out our charity. So please consider it. It means a lot to us, and you're going to feel good doing it. So if the spirit moves you, please do it.
Yeah. And up next is one of our favorite people, another dear friend of ours from
Yes.
Boston, going way, way back. The lovely, the talented, the spooky, the elusive, amazing singer and
Yes.
guitar player.
Yes.
Miss
Juliana Hatfield.
If I say what I want to say, it might just get me killed. There's no freedom in expression, and I don't think I will let you in on my thoughts. I bite my tongue, my mouth's full of blood. I bite my tongue, my mouth's full of blood. Pressure from every side, general consensus. They decide who's crucified for having wrong opinions. Hold on to what you've got. I bite my tongue, bite my tongue.
I cannot easily unwind. I can count all the poems that keep blowing my mind. And so all I ask of you is to stand where I can see you. Won't you stand where I can see you? 'Cause it is you I see through. I can't keep up with the news that keeps pouring across the wire. I cannot feel the heat in a world always on fire. And so all I ask of you is to stand where I can see you. Won't you stand where I can see you? 'Cause it is you I see through. My heart has left my chest and it's dancing across the room. I fear every obstacle and I marvel at every move. And so all I ask of you is to dance where I can't see you. Won't you dance where I can't see you? 'Cause it's you who placed the ground beneath my always wandering weary feet. I need you to stand where I can see you. Stand where I can see you. Won't you stand where I can see you? 'Cause it is you I see through.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Hot Stove Crew Music 2021. We're so glad you're here. My name is Elise Najimi, and I'm the CEO of the Foundation to be named later. Thank you for being here. And you're not just here to listen to great music by artists who donate their time and talent to Hot Stove to make it possible, but you're here to help us in the communities that we serve, Boston and Chicago, in the neighborhoods that need us the most. Because of tonight's efforts, we will be able to pick our 200th Peter Gammons College Scholar. Each gets a mentor, and we help them with a plan to make a difference and reach their dreams. So thank you. And to our nonprofit partners, they have been working so much during the pandemic. I don't know if you know this, but many of them have been working from 7 in the morning till midnight, trying to keep the doors open for the young people who need them. Because once a young person comes by and no one's there to help, they may not come again. So our nonprofits are trying to make sure that every kid comes back and can thrive. So thank you to our nonprofit partners. We also have an amazing, generous group of host committee VIP members. They donate money and they bring their friends and they make tonight even better. So thank you to the host committee. Their names are in the credits, so check it out at the end. And tonight, of course, would not be possible without our sponsors. We're so grateful to Navoya, Suncoro, Google, DraftKings, Giving Grousbeck Fazzolari, PNC Bank, Sloan, Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox, TraceLink, Baseball Fantasy Camp for Kids, Mintz Levin, Greenberg Traurig, Ace Tickets, Carrier Farm, the Boston Foundation, Q Division, Elevate, Athletes on the Move, Rubin and Redmond, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Westfield Capital, the Atwood family, and the Parsley family. Thank you so much. Without you, we wouldn't be here. And they make it more fun too. So tonight I get to introduce one of my favorite Hot Stove All-Stars ever, Bernie Williams. He comes to us from center field at Yankee Stadium, and now he takes center stage at Hot Stove Cool Music. He's an important part of the Hot Stove Cool Music family. Please enjoy his music tonight. Enjoy the show. And don't forget to bid on the amazing auction items. And remember that every donation counts. And I think there's links everywhere. So we appreciate it. Have fun tonight.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Paul Epstein, one of the co-founders of the Foundation to be Named Later, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to this portion of tonight's event. We have with us Paul Burton from the Ron Burton Training Village and Alicia Gonzalez from the Chicago Cubs, two amazing partners of the Foundation to be Named Later that help us steer all of the monies raised at this event and all of our other fundraising opportunities, and make sure that they all end up helping children in 2 cities at amazing organizations serving youth in need of help. And we also have with us the CEO of the Foundation to be Named Later, Elise Najimy. Hi, Elise.
Hi, Paul. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Paul. It's great to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm very lucky that I'm going to moderate our quick roundtable here today for the Hot Stove Cool Music guests. And I just want all the guests to know that you're not just here to hear great music, but you're here to support our work in Boston and in Chicago with great people like Paul, the vice president of the Ron Burton Training Village in Boston, and Alicia, who is the Chicago Cubs Charities executive director. And both of these people do great work in the community, and it's just a sample of some of the amazing partners that the Foundation to be Named Later has in both cities. So we're here just quickly to talk about the past year. And it's been a really difficult year for a lot of people, but thankfully our nonprofits have risen and stepped up and really made a difference and actually saved lives. And I'd love to hear from each of you about some of the struggles you've seen our children and families go through. So why don't we start with Paul from the Ron Burton Training Village.
2020, like you said, has been very challenging. We impact about 500 kids a year. We were not able to do some of the programming that we normally do. RBTV is a year-round program. Our mission is to enrich the lives of challenged youth in the areas of dynamic leadership and character development, social and educational advancement, physical wellness, and spiritual growth. Our mission is to develop the whole child. And I can tell you that the children that we work with, they all had a lot of different situations that would really almost cause them to get completely knocked off course. But because of RBTV, because of our year-long engagement, we had to quickly pivot. We were already doing things online through our Prep for Success courses, which is ACT and SAT Prep. But then we had to, because of COVID, we had to do all of our programming online. So everything from leadership and character training to the physical wellness parts of it, to the faith-based parts of it, we had to really work with the kids and their families.
After the social unrest and George Floyd's murder, when so many of our communities had been dramatically impacted, we not only held a bunch of, food and supply drives, as well as converting Wrigley Field to an actual food pantry, which we did during the pandemic, but we wanted to have healing circles for our youth. And so we partnered with an incredible organization called the Mikvah Challenge to be able to hold healing circles with both staff, our youth, and our coaches, right? Because our coaches now couldn't be with their kids either. And so they were going through a lot of their own trauma. And so the opportunity, although it was only on Zoom, I think these healing circles began to build some bridges that we really needed to have to start to have those really tough conversations. So those were the first few things that happened in the first few months of the pandemic.
Alicia, you made a great point about the level of disconnection that went on in cities and towns across the country. Kids that were already struggling pre-pandemic with school engagement, work production, progress towards graduation because of multiple life barriers and obstacles. Then the pandemic hit, and those divides got so much deeper and a bigger chasm between the haves and the have-nots, and the kids that were on track and the kids that were not.
Thank you. And we're going to end with my final question to you is I'd like you each to tell me what you found hopeful this past year.
I started the Brookline High School Outdoor Adventure Club this year because kids were so starved for social interaction and physical activity. So what better way to do that than start a club where we could safely be outside? And we've gone hiking and kayaking. We're going surfing in June.
Yeah, I found that, while this was such a challenging moment, I also found that it was really inspiring to see the youth have a louder voice and take to the streets and start to really protest and counter the systemic racism that they've experienced, and for others that hadn't experienced it, for them to start to pick up books and learn about it.
The hope that I saw in the kids that we impact, I think the one word that I noticed was resiliency. So many of our kids, even in the midst of COVID, when people were losing their jobs, our kids were actually getting hired. And it showed that they were ready. It showed that they were focused, and it showed they did not give up. It showed that their resiliency. I'm so proud of Wellington's Philo, for example, who was a Peter Gammon Scholar for 4 years. He graduated Bates in the midst of COVID and got hired at Putnam Investments.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys make the world better. Thank you so much for all the work you do, for being our partners and inspiring us, and keep it up. The world needs you. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Hey everybody, it's Mike O'Malley. I'm up in a hotel room in Canada because I am playing the role of Gandalf in Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime. You'll see it this winter, 2021. Great new epic Lord of the Rings. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? My wife doesn't think so. Neither do I. And let's be honest, neither do all of you. That's why I had to make up that lie that I'm playing Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. I'm actually not up here doing Lord of the Rings. I'm up here doing Snowpiercer, which airs on TNT. We're in our 3rd season. Please watch. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's talk about why you're watching. Because you're raising money for great causes. Theo Epstein and Peter Gammon's Foundation to be named later. I've been involved with this organization for 20 years, and I love it. So thank you for participating, buying a ticket, being here tonight. Kay Hanley is doing a fantastic job. Kay, not only you're a great person, but you're a great songwriter, you're a great musician, and you are just doing so great as the MC. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's another generous-minded person with a big heart. His name is Wyc Grousbeck. He's not only the owner of the Celtics, but he's a guy who gives from his heart. And he is somebody who's supported Hot Stove Cool Music for a very long time, but also somebody who, he's a great drummer. And he's got a band. And the band is named French Lick. And they're here playing today as part of our performance. So please give it up to the very big-hearted, generous-minded Wyc Grousbeck and his band, French Lick.
Well, I got a little change in my pocket going jing-a-ling-a-ling. Wants to call you on the telephone, baby. Give you a ring. But each time we talk, I get the same old thing. Always no huggy, no kissy until I get a wedding ring. Well, my honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. Don't hand me no lines and keep your hands to yourself. Yeah. Give in. That's when she started talking about true love, started talking about sin. I said, honey, I'll live with you for the rest of my life. She said, no huggy, no kissy until you make me your wife. My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't hand me no lines, keep your hands to yourself.
Let me please introduce myself. I'm Peter Gammons, and 21 years ago we started Hot Stove Cool Music, and then 3 years later our lives changed. When Paul and Thea Epstein came to us and said, let's merge Hot Stove Cool Music with the foundation to be named later, and try to help more than 200 nonprofits in Boston, Chicago, and other urban areas. The Hot Stove Cool Music All-Stars are really proud of what we do. I couldn't be more proud than to have Gammons Scholars in my name. There are more than 200 Gammons Scholars. Less than 1% have dropped out. Testament to truth, to opportunity, and to faith. We recorded this song, Bob Dylan's You Gotta Serve Somebody, because we believe that is the mission statement of Hot Stove Cool Music and the foundation to be named later. And you know what? Just enjoy it. I'm going to have my Eddie Vedder, Peter Gammons Harpoon Ale, and I'm going to watch it and remember one thing. To serve is perfect freedom. You might be an ambassador to England or to France. You might like to gamble, or you might like to dance. You might be the heavyweight champion of the world. You might be a princess with a long string of pearls, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. It might be the devil, or it might be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
You might be a rock and roll addict, prancing on the stage. You might have drugs at your command, women in a cage. You might be a businessman or some high-degree thief. They may call you doctor, they may call you chief, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. It may be the devil, it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody.
You might be a state trooper, you might be a young Turk, you might be the head of some big TV network. You may be rich or poor, you may be blind or lame, you may be living in another country under another name, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Well, it may be the devil, or it might be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody.
You might be a construction worker working on a home. You might live in a mansion, you might live in a dome. You may own guns, you might even own a tank. You might be somebody's landlord, you might even own banks, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Or you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Well, it might be the devil, it might be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody.
Might be a preacher with your spiritual pride, or you might be a city councilor taking bribes on the side. Might work in a barber shop, know how to do hair, be somebody's mistress, somebody's heir, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. It might be the devil, or it might be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody.
You might like to wear cotton, may like wearing silk. You might like to drink whiskey, might like drinking milk.
You might like to eat caviar, you might like to eat bread.
You might be sleeping on the floor, or sleeping in a king-size bed, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. You're gonna have to serve somebody.
You can call me Will.
You may call me CC.
You can call me DeVille.
You might call me Gilly. You can call me Kay. You can call me anything, but no matter what you say, you're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody.
Yeah, you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
Might be the devil, might be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody. Serve somebody.
Hey everybody, it's Len Casper, the former Cubs television voice and now the radio voice of the Chicago White Sox. I've been involved with Hot Stove Cool Music for now almost a decade. It's pretty incredible. When we took Hot Stove Cool Music from Boston and made it a two-city affair in Chicago, and we've had some incredible events in the summer every year, and I just adore being a part of such a great thing. And one of the awesome things about this whole event is being able to meld baseball with rock and roll. And one of my favorite people on the planet is Bronson Arroyo. I just loved watching him pitch. He was always incredibly accessible. He had a lot of flair on the mound. Just a terrific, wonderful, sweet, kind, genuine person, and has helped raise a lot of money for great causes through Hot Stove Cool Music. And the best thing about Bronson is he's multi-talented. He's one of the best musicians around, is a songwriter, singer, guitar player. He can do it all.
Hi, my name is Luis Tian, and I am excited to be a part of the Hot Stove Cool Music for the foundation to be named later. I'd like to introduce my friend Bronson Arroyo. I am a much better pitcher than he is, but his talent is a better musician than I am. Thank you all for joining us and make a difference. Ladies and gentlemen, Bronson Arroyo.
Pack yourself a toothbrush, dear. Pack yourself a favorite blouse. Take a withdrawal slip. Take all of your savings out. 'Cause if we don't leave this town, we might never make it out. And I was not born to drown. And baby, come on. Forget what Father Brennan said. We were not born in sin. Leave a note on your bed. Let your mother know you're safe. And by the time she wakes, we'll have driven through the states. We'll have driven through the night. Baby, come on. If the sun don't shine on me today, and if the subways flood and bridges break, will you lay yourself down and dig your grave? Or will you rise against your dying day? And when we look outside, didn't even see the sky. How do you pay your rents? Is it your parents? Or is it hard work deep up in the atmosphere? I don't want to live like that anymore. If the sun don't shine on me today, if the subways flood and the bridges break, I said, Jesus Christ can save me tonight. So put on your dress, yes, wear something nice, and decide on me, yes, decide on us. I said, oh, Illinois, Illinois. So pack yourself a toothbrush, dear, pack yourself a favorite blouse, and take a withdrawal slip, take all of your savings out, 'cause if we don't leave this town, might never make it out.
It's all my pleasure to introduce a man that is a legend of the stage. Anybody whose band had Pearl Jam open up for them in the 90s, a legend in my book, Mr. Bill Janovitz. This is a song by Buffalo Tom called Fortune Teller.
Reaching back, I'm a fortune teller. I'll tell her I'm the way. There will be those days, can't make them go away. There are always ways of telling, they are crazy about me. Grass is what I'm after, tracks got off the train. What is it that you're after? I can't make this train go any faster. There are times when days go by and I'm a total stranger. Plastered souvenirs, them shouting in my ear. Yeah, I can't make fat a skinny cap, a baby substitute. I'm a fortune teller, I'm the way. What is it that you're after? I can't make this train go any faster. I'm a fortune teller. I'm a fortune teller, baby. I'm a fortune teller. I'm a fortune teller, yeah.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the virtual Hot Stove Cool Music. Sorry we can't be there in person, but I think by early next year, maybe we'll all be in the same room together doing this live. But in the meantime, your support of the foundation and the beneficiaries, the Peter Gammon Scholars, all of that, the local charities, it means a great deal. So we appreciate your support. It gives me a great honor. It's a great honor for me and great pleasure to introduce our next guest. I first met this gentleman probably in early 1991 or so, and by the next year, his then unknown band had sort of exploded across the world, and they were rock stars. I mean, Pearl Jam, you might have heard of. We didn't really know who they were in 1991 when we first met them. By the next year, we were at a festival in Holland, and they were probably headlining. It was insane. And so we've got a lot of rock stars as part of Hot Stove Cool Music, including a lot behind the scenes. But here's a genuine rock star up there with Mick Jagger, Neil Young, Pete Townsend, Jimmy Page. I don't know. He's just Bob Dylan. He's just a great guy, a great artist, and his support of this foundation and this event has meant a great deal to us over the years. So it gives me a great deal of pleasure, and it's a great honor for me to introduce our next guest, Eddie Vedder. Take it away, Eddie.
This first line, it's been the first thing out of my mouth in the mornings. The thing that first pops into my brain. What the fuck is this world coming to? You didn't leave a message, at least I could have learned your voice one last time. Daily might feel this could be my time by you. Would you hit me? Would you hit me? Oh, flow by and initiatives aren't taken up by the middle. There ain't gonna be any middle anymore, and the cross I'm bearing home ain't indicative of my place. Left the porch. Oh, hear my name, take a good look. This could be the day. Hold my hand, walk beside me. Oh, I just need to say. All right, cheers. Thanks.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you, Eddie.
I mean, what do you say? I mean, it's Eddie Vedder. It's like on our Hot Stove show. And it's this is not, but not for nothing. This is not Eddie's first time.
No, not his first rodeo with us.
He's been with us for a few years. He is a Cubbies fan. So when Theo went to the front office of the Cubbies, he and Eddie became friends. Yeah. And that's how we were able to snag him for our Chicago show. Yep. But that was not the end of it because...
He came to Boston.
Yes.
And we did a show in Boston.
At the Paradise.
I know. And, it's one of the joys of my life to be able to spend some time with him and play drums with him and just generally rock out with him. You got to sing with him.
I got to sing a John Doe song with him called Golden State, which was thrilling. And he sang a song with Tanya Donley that was like so beautiful.
And Billy Janovitz from Buffalo Tom.
He's a Buffalo Tom fan, and he sang Taillights Fade.
Yeah.
And I think everyone died.
It killed me. I was goosebumps. I was playing drums on that, and I was getting goosebumps while I was playing. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, having someone like Eddie on board for this event has like really just helped raise the profile of Hot Stove Cool Music and of course the foundation. Thank you so much, Eddie. That was just extraordinary.
Thank you.
We're getting to the end of the night.
Yes, and maybe I should reiterate again, first how thankful we are that you took the time to spend with us and to hear the music and hear our message. And thank you for purchasing tickets to see this. We also want to remind you that if you're feeling it, please consider donating. There should be buttons somewhere here and
just
QR codes there.
Smash your donate button.
And let's just blow it out and let's help a lot of other souls that can use some help and get a lift up from all of us tonight. Also, the silent auction is also still happening. The silent auction
is still going, and I believe it will be going for a few more days. But there are amazing sports memorabilia, music memorabilia, experiences. So go check out the silent auction. The link is right here.
And I'd also be remiss if we didn't mention, I think we'd all be remiss if we didn't mention our corporate sponsors that really help make this happen and make our live shows when and if hopefully soon we can all be together and do it. But we want to take a moment to thank all of them because it's so important what they're doing and we are so appreciative. So without further ado, here's who we'd like to say thank you to.
Novaya, Syncoro, Google, DraftKings.
Giving Grousbeck Fazzolari, PNC, Sloan, Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox.
Baseball Fantasy Camp for Kids, Mintz, Greenberg Traurig, Ace Ticket.
Cario Farm, the Boston Foundation, Q Division.
Rubin and Rudman, Athletes on the Move, TraceLink, Vienna Beef, Westfield Capital, Dr. Clayton Holloway, Acorn Investment Partners, the Atwood family, the Parsley family, and our host committee. Thank you.
I think that's it. I think that's all we got.
It's hard to believe.
Thanks for doing this, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me.
This has been wonderful.
I can't help but think, in light of all the things that people have given to this great charity, there's got to be something that we can give back, even if it's just a little bit. What can we do for them?
I feel like we should sing something or read a poem or...
Gosh,
wait, there's a guitar right there.
No. Wow.
What?
Look, there's a pick here and everything.
That's crazy.
Is it in tune?
What?
Wow. Well, let's do something with this chord. With just whatever comes to mind.
All right. Maybe this. Give a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my love to you.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah.
Where does it go?
What?
I don't. Do you know?
Wait a minute. I think we recorded this already with the Hot Stove All Stars.
We did. Why don't we just play that?
Roll the tape.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, here we go again. Give a little bit of your love to me.
I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my love to you.
There's so much that we need to share. So send a smile and show you care. All right. I'll give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of my life for you. So give a little bit. I'll give a little bit of your time to me. See the man with the lonely eyes. Oh, take his hand, you'll be surprised. Oh, take his hand. Take it. Oh, come along. Now's the time that we need to share. So find yourself, we're on our way back home. Oh, going home. Don't you need to feel at home? Oh yeah, we gotta sing. Oh, gotta get a feeling. Oh yeah, come along too. Yeah, come along too. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come along. Oh, come along too. Yeah, come along too. Yeah, come along today. Say, take a look. Come along too. What a long ride. Come a long way. Oh, sing it tonight. Oh, yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you.
You might be an ambassador to England or to France.
After we won the World Series in 2004, the Red Sox team of that time, they got involved in hot stove. And we had one year where Johnny Damon, like a bunch of the players like got on stage, took off their shirts, stage dived, and like, but I gotta say, Theo, like you're a troublemaker.
Well, yeah, you gotta have an alter ego, right?
Maybe.
After 16, when we had both World Series trophies, the 04 and the 16 trophy in the same place, I think that night got even wilder because there was stage diving and trophy stage diving, and we broke the World Series trophy. So I think both those nights are pretty legendary.
I totally forgot about that. And you broke it, didn't you?
No, I was responsible. I was the one who got in trouble, but I didn't break it.
Because you were the babysitter of the trophy, at the very least.
You know what? People thought it was bad when Tom Brady threw the Super Bowl trophy. Theo was basically playing Pepper with those 2 trophies.
We got caught up in the moment, and so the trophies were crowd surfing.
So I think my favorite memory of all time is James Taylor coming to play. That year we were using Fenway, an outdoor venue, and he was supposed to play. I think we had the fans sitting in the bleachers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And about 5 minutes before his set was supposed to start, the skies opened up and it was a torrential lightning and thunderstorm, and we didn't know what the hell to do because this was James Taylor and the event was about to start. So we all kind of took shelter in the concourse. We huddled, our committee of volunteer organizers, and it will go down in history, Kay, as the only time James Taylor played a concert underneath in the bowels of Fenway Park in front of a sausage cart.
And we will never see that again.
Never.
I guess this is good night.
Yeah. You know, I can't help but think that there's something else, you know, in light of all the things that people have brought to this great charity. I'm sorry.
You have such a good voice for this. You have like nice air over the top.
People have told me I have a lot of air, so yeah.
Great.